So we started our trip to the Yukon pretty much the way that every trip starts, which was a really early flight at the airport, and we had a little bit of complication with our baggage, but it ended up getting all sorted out, which we were really thankful for. We were on that flight for about 6 hours, so by the time it was done, we were just ready to get off the plane and get moving. We also started to see mountains as we were pulling up to the Whitehorse Airport, so we got really stoked. And as soon as we touched down, we found the rental car that we got. We drove the 25 minutes from the Whitehorse Airport to our Airbnb, and we started getting settled in, which honestly didn't take too long because it was a gorgeous A-frame cabin. The timbers, like the beams that it was made of, were absolutely insane. They were huge. Harrison really loved those. So we had our full washer and dryer, we had a little loft where we slept, and we had a full kitchen as well. So every single morning that we were there, we had bacon, eggs, and toast, orange juice, coffee, like the whole works to get ready for a full day of hiking. And we did as much hiking as we possibly could. The very next day after our flight, we touched base with a friend who we hadn't seen since tree planting. And she took us to a trail that was really light but rewarding pretty quickly. As soon as we got onto the St. Elias, we started getting these gorgeous views, and it wasn't too long, but it was a long enough hike that it got us warmed up to the fact that we were going to be hiking every single day while we were in the Yukon. And at the end of it, before we hiked back, there was this gorgeous emerald lake, so we dipped ourselves in. But all of the water here is glacial runoff, so it's very chilly. It takes a second to hype yourself up to go into it, and you do have to be mindful of your breath, otherwise it is way too cold. And the weather wasn't sweltering while we were there, so we had built up a sweat, but we weren't overheated, so getting into the cold water was definitely a brave move, but it felt amazing. After we touched base with our friend, she went further north and we went back where we came, and we found another trail, which was also a really light one. It was a good way to dip our feet in the water, literally and figuratively. My favorite part of the whole trip though was how much time I got to spend with my best friend. We actually didn't know when we booked Yukon, but we are expecting our first baby in the new year, and I feel like this whole trip we were just falling more in love and being more grateful for our life because we love who we are, we love how we do life, and I'm so excited for everything that's coming and everything that we're doing together. It's our second full day in Yukon.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! There are lots of potholes. We are on the Grey Mountain, going for an adventure. We are off-roading to get there. Everything we read said that if you had a vehicle with 4x4 drive and high clearance, you were probably good. That was a bit of an overstatement because it was incredibly steep and potholy getting up, so we were really scared. I almost cried, but we did it, and it was worth the views. So we probably just hiked 7 kilometers, do you think? And now we are making the treacherous descent. It was very challenging and scary getting up here. Wish us good luck.
Yeehaw! Treacherous. The mountain road is treacherous.
So we're not using gas to get down this hill. We're only using our brakes. So we were out there at that peak. Since the Grey Mountain Trail is right outside of Whitehorse, we had planned for the Miles Canyon Trail to be the next place that we were going because it is also right outside of Whitehorse. And this one was maybe my favorite hike. We also did get to cool ourselves off here after we built up a little bit of a sweat. You gonna do it? Are you gonna do it?
Try it.
Hello. We didn't plan this whatsoever. We just pulled up to the bakery at the same time as Allison. Hello, Harrison. So we are currently here. Hello.
A third of the way up?
A third of the way to the peak of that. We started way out there.
We have come pretty high up. We came from way out there.
We have stopped once again for a short break up here. Here we are. Kingstrong was one of those hikes that I was really nervous for because it was a bit more intense. It was 5 kilometers up to a summit, and keep in mind I'm doing this entire trip 4 months pregnant, and honestly doing a hike like this felt really good for my body and made me really proud of myself. Harrison, wave hello. We had a 20-minute lunch break at the top before we started taking on the task of getting down the hill, which was kind of more difficult than getting up because of how steep it was. But I was really glad that we wore our barefoot shoes for this whole trip and not hiking boots, because there's just so much more grab that I find really useful for alpine hiking that you just can't get with a bulky hiking boot. You did it. It's a slide. Doing intensive work like this and alpine hiking was also really cool because it took us back to our tree planting days, which we haven't done for quite a while, but we are still really fit. Like, I was really proud of us on this trip because we did this hike half an hour faster than expected, and I'm 4 months pregnant, and we took plenty of breaks, and we almost rewarded ourselves with a cold dip, but it was way too cold. We did not. I actually don't have many videos from the Oriole Trail because it started getting dark and we were worried we were not going to get back, so we started trekking as fast as we could, but we made it and it was totally fun and it wasn't dark at all. What time is it, Harrison?
8:20, just like we said.
We made it. We hiked 15 kilometers and we have totaled a day of 25. Woo. How does it feel to be done? The 4th day we were in the Yukon, it was rainy and cold, and we had already planned for a rain day, so we went to the Eclipse Hot Springs and took a full day off. Good morning! So yesterday we had a lovely day off. We went to the Nordic Spa, and today we are back out on the road in Carcross. Hello. And we are almost at BC. We're attempting the Sam McGee Trail today. It's in this book right here. It looks really cool. I think we're gonna drive down this road. Are we gonna drive down?
We're gonna drive down.
Okay.
It's very nice. Gnarly! Oh.
We made it. We found the Sam McGee Trail. We're on it.
Yeah.
Currently. It's pretty
Much
cool.
more to go.
Having a little snack break though. Have some sweet peas and peanut butter sandwiches. We made it so high up. I do not think we're on the Sam McGee Trail anymore. We're on the Hero Trail partially, so we've gone farther than the Sam McGee. Do 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 do. The Sam McGee was my second favorite trail, even though it said that it was a gradual incline all the way up, which really just means you feel like you're on a Stairmaster the entire time. It was not easy, but it was good, and then after that we headed to the Carcross Desert, which actually is the result of land that used to be completely underwater, and it was just insane to see. Like, why is there a desert in Canada? The next day it was rainy again, and we were still feeling pretty wiped, so we did do a smaller trail walk just to add to our total, but we did take another little break. Stony Creek said that once you get to the top of the ATV trail, you kind of have to carve your own way to the top, which we did, and it was beautiful, but we did get lost for about an hour, which was really scary, but thankfully Harrison is a Boy Scout and has some kind of internal GPS, so we did find our way back.
We made it.
Ah!
We're alive.
Through great personal risk.
We got so lost and we're way over there because we went up there and went wee because it started hailing.
Yeah, we must have been like 2.5 kilometers off.
We were far. Our 16-kilometer hike has now just turned into probably like a 20. Hello. It's our last day in Yukon.
So we did another big hike after Spirit Canyon just to get to 100 kilometers, but this was the last mountain hike that we did, and I was starting to get really sad that we were leaving. Like, the air in the Yukon, the way that there's so many trees, the way that it's so vast, it's hard to describe how it feels, but I really didn't want to let that feeling go.
Harrison is washing the dishes, and we have been packing up. It is our last day at our beautiful little Yukon house.
Tomorrow is Sunday. We fly home. It's not too early. We fly home at like 8 o'clock. We gain 3 hours coming back, but I don't want to leave. Yukon is fun.
Are you sad to leave?
Ah,
Yeah.
So we had 10 days total for this trip. 2 of them were travel, 8 of them were in the Yukon, and 2 of them ended up being rest days. So we had 6 full days of hiking to get to our 100 kilometers. And here's how everything shook out. We added up everything as best that we could, and we made it just over 100 kilometers. But honestly, even if we didn't, like even if we made a mistake somewhere, I'm still really proud of us, and the trip itself was worth it. I would definitely recommend going. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I will see you next time.